All right, welcome back, guys. If you guys want to call in, weigh your thoughts on what's going on, that's fine. If not, I got more stuff we can cover here. The Coast Guard has always been the agency that's done environmental disasters offshore. The booms and different things have done their justice. But, you know, like President Obama said, and I'll have to agree with him on this point, there has not been a magnitude damage of this level ever. And there wasn't and there isn't any equipment established worldwide for anything like this. In fact, they're having to make booms, and booms are used as like a net to capture the oil, and then it goes to other systems. There's other things that they do. One of the things that I don't like that they do is they set the oil on fire. Now, we talked about this briefly, and the reason why I'm talking about setting on fire, haven't you found it strange that it's mid-June and hurricane season started in May, technically June, but there hasn't been a massive tropical-like storm in the Gulf yet? Now, let me refresh your memory. How many of you guys actually follow the Beijing Olympics? Really great, groundbreaking event that occurred in China. How many of you guys are aware that China manipulated their own weather pattern? Now let me explain how this is done. What they did is they created a missile. And within this missile there was a chemical compound that would shoot up into the clouds where the rain was condensed. And it would cause the rain to either semi-evaporate or would cause the rain to automatically just break out wherever it was. Now, if you've been following, looking further south from the Gulf, more close to Africa and more close to Central America, there has been more rains down below, and if you start going north towards Greenland and Iceland area, there has been more weather patterns in that area. Plus, if you look on the west coast and here in Ohio, we've had torrential rains come across, and the rain pattern and the jet stream and everything has happened. But if you notice, I believe the same technology that was used for the Beijing Olympics, these missiles that are shot into the air, into clouds that are condensed with water, and it torrential downpours cause, because that's what they did during the Beijing Olympics. You guys can Google this. Beijing Olympics weather missile. You can look this up. I'm not making this stuff up. And we're talking about this. And these poor people, and I feel sorry for them in China, because they didn't want to have the area where the event was occurring. They didn't want a massive rain to happen. So they would shoot missiles up into these clouds over in other parts of China so it would rain there instead of there. And you're probably wondering, that's crazy. Well, here's something even more crazy. This is a hypothetical thing. Now, I just read in the Word of God that fire will come down from heaven. What is the one most dangerous thing about oil? It is highly flammable, meaning it catches on fire like that. Now, I remember when I was about 14 to 16 years of age, I was in Texas, and I was in a, what we call the green hole. And the green hole was a natural spring that made like a really cool fishing zone, and it was stocked with catfish and perch and things like that. And I was swimming underwater. And my stepdad thought it was the funniest thing because we had like a little fire going. He poured lighter fluid and gas into the water. I'm swimming underwater, and he lights a match and he throws it into the fire. Not into the... And then, because I can see this from under the water. And the next thing I know, he takes another match and turns and faces me and throws the match into the water. Poof! The fire is above me. I'm underwater looking at fire, and it actually starts to come down, and it burnt some hair off the top of my head underwater, and my back I got an extra sunburn. So yes, fire can happen underwater. So here's another crazy statement. Let's say a tropical storm or another hurricane like Katrina comes into the area. Here's what's going to happen, folks. Now follow with me and I'll recap slowly. Tropical storm gathers where the oil is. Now, as you know, rain, what it does, there's water in an ocean or a body of water, and through evaporation, it gathers it up into the clouds. It gathers, it condenses, and it gets to the point where it's so full of water and it's so full of minerals and dirt. That's why clouds are really dark. And then all of a sudden it can't handle it anymore and it has to release the water. Well, what's going to happen, and this isn't a complete hypothetical, this will happen. How severely this will happen, I don't know. But hypothetically, let's say as bad as Katrina, all this water will be picked up from the ocean and brought into the clouds. Not only will the water be brought up, but particles of the oil. Now this can be brought upon the shorelines and even further inland. Let's say, you know how Katrina went through. It went through, you know, like Louisiana, and it kept going up, across all the way to Florida, and it can go all the way up to New York. Now what happens in a massive storm like a hurricane? There is lightning. Let me remind you. Oil is flammable. So what's going to happen is this oil, one possibility that can happen, possibly acid rain, a form of acid or basic rain, meaning rain, and this is true, rain that comes down that is acidic and it can destroy car paint and it can destroy rocks and things, or if you're out, it can actually cause problems to you as well. So acid rain can come out of something like this. Plus fire from heaven. Remember I said the oil can be brought up into the clouds and brought around to different places. So when the lightning strikes, not only is it a lightning bolt, but it's a lightning bolt of fire. Now here's one of the weirdest things about Satan. It says Satan came down upon the earth as a light of fire. Revelation talks about a light of fire coming down upon the earth. Very interesting thought. So yes, folks, this is a very dangerous situation. If the oil is able to be evaporated up in a, not what's currently in the water. No. The hardened form of oil, as we see it, cannot just automatically be transported up into clouds. And talking about the fumes. If you ever smelled oil and gasoline, or if you look at it from a weird distance, you will see in the air the fumes. You know, everything that lives has a different form. Liquid, solid, and air form. We're talking about an air form of gas can be brought up into the clouds and then it can be shot down. This is a very dangerous thing that's going on. We're going to take a break and I'll talk more about the weather patterns. Be right back.